What is up, YouTube? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to a 90s All That Month once again. And this is review, I believe, number 17. And it's this is a request from my friend Sean Cobb that he requested these films. This is the first one from 1995. I know the year because I saw this movie in the theater back in 2009 when they re-released it. And it is the masterpiece in the Pixar's first masterpiece, Toy Story. This is the 10th anniversary edition that came out in 2004, and I bought it then. And this is a great edition. It's got tons of features on the back, and this movie is just a classic. This is one of the greatest animated films to ever exist. This has a stellar. The animation is stunning. The characters are well thought out. The voice acting is tremendous. I love the voice actors. Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, the late great Jim Varney, Wallace Shawn, Don Rickles, John Ratzenberger, Annie Potts. It's just a great cast. This is had one of the best casts for an animated movie ever. And this movie is exceptionally funny. It's got great jokes that have still held up. It has a great villain, Sid, and his dog, who are very menacing in the film. That they destroy toys. It's got a message about taking care of your toys and treasuring them always. About it's not just about you. It's about your friends as well. And Woody and Buzz are two of the greatest characters to ever be on a Disney film. Their dynamic works. Woody is jealous of him at first, and then they become friends, and you buy it. It's a well-rounded film. It's very well written. It's a little bit short though. The first Toy Story. The one gripe I have with it is that the film is a little bit too short. Like it kind of goes by quick. That's why I like the sequel more because it's a much longer film and they have more characters and they delve more deep into Woody's backstory. But this is a great film. If you have not watched this movie, you are missing out on one of the best animated films ever made. Before Finding Nemo, before The Incredibles, before any of the Cars films, before anything, this one is the one that started it all. It's a fantastic movie. It's visually stunning. So the ending of this movie, I just it almost brings a tear to my eye because I'm like, wow, the score is amazing in the movie. It just when Buzz is flying and Woody's like this and the score's like it's mad majestic. It's just great music. It really sets the tone for this movie really well. And there's a lot of adult themes in the film that that got, that went over well with parents, and that's why the movie made so much money and it got re-released, and it's a classic. I love this movie. It is one of the best films I've ever seen in Disney. They don't make films like this anymore. If they do a fourth one, it's not going to be as heartfelt as this one or the second one and even the third one, because at least the third one I can say is still a good Toy Story movie. um just this is a really, this film, it's aged well. It's still a great, the soundtrack. You Got a Friend in Me. Randy Newman, his music is amazing in the film. The soundtrack, it really adds flavor to the film. The locations in the film, Andy's house and Sid's house and Pizza Planet, and it's just amazing. It's just great. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I had toys just like this. I mean, I played with an Etch a Sketch. I had a Mr. Potato Head. I played with a Slinky toy. I had a lot of I had a lot of Star Wars toys, like space toys, and my sister has the Bo Peep toy. So yeah, dinosaurs. I used to play with dinosaur toys as well. So a lot of nostalgia in this movie. Just it hits the right notes. It's very emotionally set. You know, it's a very emotional story. And it's a film that still is just as great now as it was back in 1995. It's aged incredibly well. 21 years and counting, and the film is still an amazing movie. Just the fact that they don't make a movie, that Pixar. To be my favorite Pixar film is the second Toy Story. This one is at least in my top 10. I will see Inside Out, but it will never top this because this was a part of my childhood. I watched this movie religiously on VHS, and I saw this on ice when I was 10, and I got this DVD when I was 19, and I still have it, and I love it. I love this movie. I will put it on a pedestal. This is better than any animated movie we're getting this year. Honest to God, it will be. Granted, I'm looking forward to Finding Dory, no matter what the critics say, because that was 13 years in the making, and I'm looking forward to Ellen making me laugh again. But there will never be another Toy Story. I'm sorry. This is one of a kind. This is majestic. This is quality grade A animation, and it's fantastic. The fact this should have won an Oscar for best animated film if that existed back then. This should have won, and the second one, of course, the third one won because it was a no contest. And Pixar is like every year Pixar, Disney just sweeps the Oscars every single year. I guarantee you, either Finding Dory or Zootopia is going to win Best Animated, hands down, because Disney knows what they're doing. I'm still iffy on the Star Wars films, but with Toy Story, they did it right. Had two amazing sequels. Am I looking forward to a fourth one? I don't know. I'll wait for the trailer, but this movie is one of the best, and it's hard to top. So there. Anyway, thanks for guys for watching, and that's my review of the masterpiece known as Toy Story. One of my childhood favorites. You know, the Army Men. I forgot to mention those. Those are amazing too. And it's a movie that is held up, and it never needs to be remade. Hollywood, you cannot remake a Toy Story movie live action because you can't capture that spark that John Lasseter did in the first movie, and Joss Whedon worked on this movie, the master of that movie. Yeah, Whedon does something like this, he gets involved. You're gonna get majestic, a majestic freaking bunch of dialogue and memorable things to infinity and beyond. Absolutely, this movie will live for infinity and beyond. It will. And anyway, I shaved my head. I just wanted to show you guys that. Um, Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys watch this movie. If you haven't, I'm gonna rewatch it again because it's great and I love it. Anyway, that's my review for Toy Story. Once again, my friend Sean, decided to, he gave me a request to review it, and it is a '90s film. It's from '95. Next time, we will talk about the sequel, the first sequel, Toy Story 2, my absolutely favorite Pixar film of all time, and I love it equally as much as the first one. And I'll talk about that great sequel next time. Later.